shot there right now.
Why? Hi, and welcome back to Shawnee Hills. Got a treat today because my wife Alyssa has begrudgingly agreed to be on camera. She hates being videoed, having pictures taken, anything like that. So this is probably a rare opportunity that we're going to have. So would you like to say hi?
Hi.
You a little nervous right now?
A little bit.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Doing better than I thought. So today, the reason I asked Alyssa to be here is I want to talk about how we prioritize on the homestead. And I needed her to be here because it's not something that I do or she does. It's something that we do together. And I'm hoping to get her input. If I say anything wrong or that differs from how she sees it, I'd like her to speak up a little, which doesn't happen often. Not me being wrong, that happens all the time. She just usually doesn't speak up. So how we go about prioritizing is, first off, we have a master list. And this master list is where we walk around the entire property, every building, and go through and write down everything we see that either needs to be done or that we want to be done. We don't put it in any kind of order. This is just a list. We usually have a category of, barn, all the things under it, house, interior, exterior, etc. And we have all these things that we just pretty much blurt out and put as much as we can on the paper. Now, because we bought this property in such disrepair, that list is huge. There is so much on it that we may not ever get everything on that list finished, and our priorities may change, but it is just a huge list. And it's real easy for us, especially me, to be working out here in the barn, and whatever I see in front of me is what I start working on, and with no rhyme or reason. So what we do is about once every week or two, we sit down, and from that big list, each one of us writes down 10 things that we would really like to get done, that we really want to make a priority over the next couple weeks. And so I'll write 10 and she'll write 10. And after we do that, we don't put them in any type of order, but after we've got 10 written down, then we look at it and say, okay, let's put these in an order. What would I like to be done 1 through 10? And then she does the same. And we're not looking at each other's list or anything. From that, then we put them together and look at them. And what we try to do is look at the top 5s first. And lots of times I would say ours match pretty well. Not always, our priorities differentiate a little bit. I think she'd like the kitchen to be done a lot sooner, and I'd probably like the barn to be done a lot sooner. But that's just how it is. But we take those top 5s, and then we try to, if we've got anything that have duplicates, we try to make sure that's on our final top 10 list. But we also try to make sure that there is an equal number of each one of our top 5s in that final top 10 list. Because what we find out that happens is if everything on the list or the majority of things on the list are my priority or her priority, the other person doesn't get excited about it or their heart's just not in it. So we try to have an equal number of things on there so we're both excited about what we're doing. And so far, I think it's worked pretty well. How often do you think that at least half of our list are duplicates of each other's?
Very often.
So it's a good feeling to know that you're on the same page. I don't think I've ever seen anything to do with the barn on her list.
No.
There's always something for the barn on my list. And, luckily she lets me work on it. And from the past videos that there's been some of that. Prioritizing is very important. And, in one of my last videos, I was talking a little bit about Franklin Covey, about quadrant 1 versus quadrant 2. How in quadrant 1, it is important and urgent. And quadrant 2 is important but not urgent. And this is all quadrant 2 stuff we're talking about, because if I see something that needs to be done and I just go work on it, it may not be that it's, the best thing to be doing with my time. We want to stay as much in quadrant 2 as we can, and the only way to stay in quadrant 2 is to know what things are in quadrant 2. And you know, quadrant 1s and quadrant 3s, they're going to happen, but in quadrant 2 you have to plan to be there, and that's where this gets us. And we seem to get the most done when we have this plan. So have you been happy with how it's been working?
Yeah.
When we actually do it?
Yes.
I can't say we've always done it. We're bad to slip away from it, and when we do, we can go, you know, a month or more, and you feel like you've got nothing done. But then when we get back on it and we start checking things off, it's amazing how much we can get done. But I'd really like some feedback on this video. This is our process, but I would really like to hear how other people prioritize. Because we have so much to do, we're open to suggestions. If you have something that really works well for you, share it with me. And also, if this is something that you think is going to help you, let us know that it's going to help you. I'd love to hear that. And if you think it's helpful, hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, you know, subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. Is that all for now?
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Hey, 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 this is Fat Albert coming at you.
Hi, and welcome back to Shawnee Hills. This is my wife, believe it or not, and I'm horrible. I'm like a fart in a whirlwind. I just bounce around. Now, because we bought this property in such disrepair, I can't talk today. Feel better about that one?
I don't know.